Hello Fern followers, another video to help with some kind of common problems which we have with dogs. Now another one which somebody asked me the other day is how do you stop your dog from eating your shoes or pinching your shoes? So I've got Darley here. She's a working Cocker Spaniel and part of their job as a working Cocker Spaniel is to retrieve. So imagine now if Darley pinched my shoe. What a lot of people tend to do is think that's really bad, and it is quite bad. But that dog is just doing what we've bred into them, what we've selectively bred into them and chosen them to do, which is pick things up and bring them back to you and do it for you. That's what retrievers do. They do that for you as their owner, as their master. They're really happy to bring you things. In the field, it might be pheasants or ducks or birds or rabbits or whatever it may be. But to a dog, a retrieving dog, it just is all about picking something up and bringing it back to you and making you really pleased with them. It doesn't have to be a retrieving breed. You can have any kind of dog, and your dog might pick up your slippers and run around with them, or your shoes, or whatever it may be. Now, yes, you don't want that behaviour. It's not good, but you can use that to your advantage. So if a dog, every time a dog brings me a shoe, I turn that into a part of recall training. And I tell her I'm really happy with her, and I get her to sit and I get to hold it like I would do if we were outside in the field with a dummy or a pheasant or whatever it may be. The dog's got hold of your shoe through no fault of his own. You're the adult. We're supposed to be the intelligent species on the planet, and if you haven't got the IQ to put your shoes out of reach of a dog, then we can't really blame the dog for doing what we want the dog to do. The dog's just picking things up and is really happy to give it to you. So the first thing is to stop a dog. How do I stop my dog eating slippers or pinching shoes? Don't let the dog eat slippers or pinch shoes. It's quite simple. Be grown up. Be responsible. And I know that's easier said than done. I know that. I'm sitting here preaching to you, but quite often I do the same. So what we're going to do, I'm going to leave a shoe out for my dog now to show you what the dog will do when she sees it, and then show you what I do. And we can turn that into a bit of positive training for the dog, and then we can turn it into a bit of positive training for ourselves to say, you know what, I should be a bit more responsible, I'm not going to do that again. So I'm going to put Fern away for this one, just so we can leave Darley distracted. There's a good girl. Good girl. There's a good girl. So if you come and look over here, we've got, if you get that on, it says boots and shoes. It's a nice piece of furniture. As a responsible adult, I know, because I can read, that that's where boots and shoes go. But sometimes I'm not quick enough, I don't think, or basically I'm lazy. So for example, if I'm taking one dog out, my wife's behind the camera nodding when I said I'm lazy. If I take one dog out, then I come in and take my trainers off to put my slippers on to get the other dog, Darley, being a retriever, instinctively picks up my slipper. So what I'm going to do now is show you that, just by leaving a trainer there and leaving her to get on with it. Straight for it. Now I can scream and shout at her. Go on, take it. Take it. Good girl. Or I can do this. Good girl. Good girl. What have you got? What have you got? Good girl. Sit. Darley, sit. Good girl. Normally, or eventually, she'll sit with this in her mouth, which is what she should do with a rabbit or a pheasant or a dummy or wherever it may be. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an old battered one and give it back to her. Good girl, take it. Good girl. With me. And the idea there is, I'm teaching her, for later down the line, you can bring me things back, and I'm not always going to pinch them off you. I'm going to give you something back, or I could give her that straight back into her mouth, but I don't want to because that's my good shoe. We've got an old wrecked one for that purpose. So turn that into a positive, turn that into good training, turn it into a really good recall, teach the dog that you're really happy with her bringing things back to you, and for that she gets a reward, and then learn to be a bit more grown up in future and use the nice, expensive, fancy piece of equipment that you've got for putting shoes and boots in. So it's your fault, learn from it, don't let it happen again. You obviously will, I do, everybody does, we all make mistakes, but try and learn from it, but do not take it out on the dog. It's not the dog's fault for doing what human beings are bred into them over generations and generations, and what would really help us have them done. That's the end of that one, hope that helps.